Welcome to my channel, shavers and shave vets. I hope you're all well. I have a little bit of a different type of video here for you today for a couple of different reasons. First off is the topic of the video I don't think benefits from having a specific shave. So the video that you're watching right now is just going to be some various clips that I'm going to put in depending how long the audio turns out to be, just so that we have something to watch in the background. Normally when I do a video, I record the audio first, record the video first, take that in at a later date and do my voiceover real time while watching the playback so that I can point things out on the screen or anything else that I have to do. For this one, I'm just enjoying the beautiful waveforms generated by my voice here, so a little different for me as well. Second difference is for this video, we are going to start with the conclusion first. Now, I do want to make it clear, while I was testing this technique, I did the best I could, and I think I succeeded, to keep an open mind and not let any of my personal opinion influence my experience. For the sake of the video, though, we're just going to go into the conclusion. I realize that most people who are watching this video probably just want to hear my conclusion on it, so that's fine with me. You can also check out the video description, and again, we don't all have tons of time to watch YouTube videos all day long, so I do the best I can in every video to fill the description with the complete details, or at least what I feel are the important details of the shave itself. So if you're ever busy or just don't want to listen to me talk for any reason, check out the video description and you won't miss out on anything important as far as the shave is concerned. But with this one, so rinsing your razor with cold water is supposed to have a positive impact on results. About a week ago, at least as far as the time that I'm recording the audio here, about a week ago I got a comment on a video from YouTube user Joshua Carrick. Joshua, thank you so much for checking out my videos and for leaving the comment asking what I think about this. And he asked if I had seen a thread talking about the benefits of rinsing with cold water, and I had not. I didn't think it would have any impact. I couldn't think off the top of my head of any reason why this would change a shave. On the flip side of that, I also couldn't think of any reason why it would hurt a shave, so I figured I'd go ahead and give it a shot and let people know what I think. Now, from at least at the time when I looked up this thread, it seemed to be very focused on people with sensitive skin getting better results. So do keep in mind, I don't consider myself to have sensitive skin. Maybe I do and I just don't know it. But I will say that of all the different soaps and creams and things that I've used over the years, only one soap has ever caused irritation to the point where I did not want to use it anymore. And it sounded that's not a soap that's available anymore, but it sounded like that was a problem for at least the majority of people leaving reviews. I don't blame that one on my face. That, I think, was just a poor soap. But when I tried this out, did I see any change to my results? No, I didn't. Very possibly, I'll talk about this in a little bit, maybe a little bit of a negative impact, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So I didn't see any changes to my shave. Does that mean that nothing happens? Not necessarily. If you've been around the channel for a while, you have maybe heard me break down kind of my two buckets as far as what we do during a shave. We have technique and we have ritual. Now, the definition of those, the words are just arbitrary. What I consider technique are things that have a direct impact, a physical impact on the final results of your shave. So for example, the angle I hold my razor, that's technique. If I change that angle, I will have a direct impact on the final results. That's technique, or at least as far as this discussion, that's what I call a technique. Now, with shaving, we also have ritual. I think most people that are wet shaving today, maybe not by much, but I still think it's going to be most people, are in it for more than just the shave, more than just the final results. We're in it, at least to some degree, for the experience. We like the variety of shave soaps or creams. We like the different scents. We like having those choices. A double edge or a straight razor, just kind of feels that much cooler to use. It feels that much better. Now, for most of us, again, I think the final results are certainly better than with cartridges, which is where I think most of us come from. There's that to consider as well. But I think most of us, and certainly most people watching this video, are going to be in the game for the experience as well as the results. So the ritual is what we do for ourselves. The ritual is that experience. Something that I've recommended in several videos. If you are somebody who is looking to improve your results, take a look at what it is you do from very beginning to very end of your shave. Divide that in between technique and ritual. The technique is where you need to focus. That's not to say that we throw a ritual away, because if we were to take away all of our ritual, we wouldn't enjoy the experience as much. I think it's safe to say most of us, we are also in it for the experience. For my rituals, I don't like cold water. I don't like being cold in general, and I will admit I'm very wimpy when it comes to being cold. I know the comments always get a little hairy if I choose to use Celsius or Fahrenheit, so just to keep everybody on the level playing field, anything that's colder than about 520 on the Rankine scale, it's too cold for me, and we all know how wimpy that is. So is it possible that I had, I'm not going to say a negative experience, but I didn't have as positive of an experience rinsing my razor with cold water? Did that have an impact on my final thoughts? Possibly. I tried as much as possible to ignore that I wasn't enjoying feeling the cold razor across my face and focus just on results. It could have. I'm going to say I did the best that I could to avoid that situation happening, but we all have internal bias, we all have internal preferences. That may have snuck into my final thoughts on the process itself. Having said that, not seeing any difference, does that mean that it doesn't work? No, not necessarily. Again, keep in mind, I don't have sensitive skin. At least as far as the comments on that thread at the time, it did seem to be pretty focused on those with sensitive skin getting better results. That could be a reason why I didn't see the results. Does that mean that it doesn't work for anybody? No, because again, we're talking about the ritual side of things, potentially talking about the ritual side of things, or the experience. Even if there was no other differences in the actual results themselves, if somebody enjoyed the cold razor going across their face, that's going to improve their overall experience. I would prefer to do that as well. I like to do things that make me feel happy during my shave. What I did for my testing, and I'm going to use the term very loosely here, what I did for my testing, I've had 5 shaves since I started it. The first 2 were just strictly cold water rinsing. I didn't notice any difference. My face felt cold. I didn't really enjoy it. It didn't hurt either. But then I started thinking, how do I know? This could be my bias for not liking to be cold coming in and making me feel like I did not get better results. So the remaining 2 shaves, what I did was to shave half of my face with warm or hot water, again in the context of a shave, rinsing with warm or hot water, and I shaved the other side of my face, rinsing with cold water. Something very interesting, I did notice ever so very slightly that the cold water side didn't get quite as close as the warm water side. It's not something that I noticed right away after the shave, but a few hours after, when I can start to feel the whiskers growing back, I can start to see it a little more, I noticed that the cold water shave was always, the whiskers were always just ever so slightly noticeable longer than the warm water rinse side. Now, not by much. That's if I were to shave, or when I did shave with all cold water, I didn't notice any difference. So it had to be directly compared to half and half. Not anything that I would say is a poor result. Now that did happen with each of those 3 shaves where I did half and half. Would I be happy with that shave? Yeah, absolutely. It was not at all to the point where I would call it a poor shave where I had bad results, but I thought that was kind of interesting. I just noticed again, just barely enough to be noticeable. The cold water side wasn't quite as close. So what does that mean? I don't know. It means that I'm not going to continue doing it. That's about it. If this works for you, that's all that matters. If it works to give you better results, if it works as a better technique, that's fine. Continue to do it. If it results in just a more pleasurable ritual, that's fine as well. There's no reason for you to stop doing it. I think a lot of times, especially when we start talking about the forums, a lot of us get stuck in the strictly end result, the techniques, whether we think of it as a technique or a ritual or not, we get very stuck. No matter how many posts you have on a forum, no matter how many videos you have on YouTube, no matter how many subscribers you have, it doesn't make anybody more of an expert than anyone else. We all have one face to shave. Our experience is a sample size of 1, which means basically nothing. Things that work for me may not work for you. Things that work for you may not work for me. Which is right and which is wrong? Neither. When it comes to wet shaving, we do the things that give us at least a good mix of positive results as well as that positive experience. I think most people wet shaving today, maybe not by much, but I think most people wet shaving today are in it for a little more than just the final results. The final results definitely keep us around. I get much better final results with traditional double-edge, single-edge straight razors than I do with the cartridge. But if it weren't for the experience side, if it weren't for the ritual side, I don't know if I would stick along. And I think, again, maybe not by much, but I think most of us enjoy the ritual side just as much as the final results side. Otherwise, we wouldn't be posting in forums, we wouldn't be watching or making YouTube videos if it was strictly down to the final results. I think most people watching the video are certainly in it for at least some of the experience as well. But when it comes down to it, none of us are an expert on anything other than our own face. That information applies only to our own face. So if you were thinking about this and wanted to see somebody's opinion on it, don't let me stop you from trying it. Like I said, off the top of my head, I can't think of any reasons why this would have an impact, either positive or negative. But I can't think of any reasons why it would give us a poor experience. And again, unless you're like me and just are really wimpy around cold. So what do you think? Is this something that you have tried before? Can you think of any reason why a cold water rinse would have a different physical impact on your shave than a warm or a hot water rinse? I'd like to know your experience as well. And that goes with all of my videos. Please feel free to put your experience in the comments, even if they're different from mine, and especially if they're different from mine. Because again, my face is a sample size of 1. If I make a video saying something works, I can only give you the experience from my face, which is not going to be the same as yours. The more people who chime in with their experience, whether it matches mine or not, the better information, the better other people are going to be able to determine, is this something they want to do or not. Yeah, but let me know. Other than that, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this different kind of video. Let me know what you think as far as the cold water rinse. Are you going to give it a shot? Have you done it? What were your experiences? Yeah, that's all I've got for you today. So thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate everybody who stops by the channel. Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.